say, but count to 7 and then let roll.
Okay.
All right.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Welcome to the Communications Advisory Commission meeting on August 2nd, 2021. We'll do call to order. First item on the agenda.
Yeah. Fields,
Present.
Nichols,
Here.
Marsh,
Here.
Bevins.
Here.
All right, next item on the agenda, approval of the agenda.
Motion to approve. A second.
All right, all those in favor of approving the agenda, say aye.
Aye. Aye.
All those opposed? None. All right. Next item, approval of minutes. Any motion? Thank you. Second?
Second.
All right, all those in favor of approving the minutes from last meeting? I forgot what meeting that was.
2 months ago, June.
June meeting, yeah. All those in favor of approving the minutes from June, say aye.
Aye. Aye.
All those opposed, say the same thing. All right, minutes approved. Next item, public comment. Any public comment? Looks like there is none. Moving on, election of chair and vice chair. This is for the June 2022 term. Any requests?
Would you like to continue?
So your term currently ends June 2022, so that would take us through the end of your term if you were to, because this is,
Oh, wait, this is
Now
not
and-
now?
it was supposed to be starting in July,
Okay.
our year, July to
Gotcha.
June, and we didn't meet last month, so it's active now through the end of June 2022.
Gotcha.
So we're looking at the next 11 months. And I think that when we went through this last year, obviously Keisha, you're chair, and Ryan, you were vice chair, correct? Which just means that if the chair is absent, leads the meeting as Keisha's doing so. So to give an overview of what the responsibilities are, it's attending the meetings just like every commissioner. There's a few times that the director of communications or myself or anyone will talk to the commissioner chair about some items on the agenda or some feedback on the side, but help check in with them on when we're holding meetings, if we need to postpone a meeting and whatnot. So that's the role. And we are looking for, yes, a chair and vice chair to take over beginning next meeting.
Anyone interested? Don't everyone respond at once?
Do you, would you like to continue being chair?
If I am nominated, then I shouldn't have said that.
I would like to nominate you. You're doing a great job.
If you feel that I am good at this, then I will completely accept that.
I think you should.
Do
Okay.
we need a motion to nominate?
We do need a motion to nominate and then also to approve. And then we'll have to do the same for vice chair as well. And then just keeping in mind, if we move forward with Keisha, that she will be ending unless she reapplies to continue serving on the commission after this term ends. So
Okay. Motion to nominate Keisha as chair?
May I get a second?
Second.
All those in favor, feels weird. All those in favor of nominating me as chair, say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, say aye. All right, looks like it's approved. I am the chair yet again. All right, vice chair.
Well, since Ryan currently is, do you want to continue?
Yeah, I'm fine with that. Oh, good. Unless someone else would like to step up. There hasn't been much to do with it, so, yeah.
All right, nomination for Ryan.
Yes, I nominate Ryan.
All right. Is that a motion? We do a motion?
yep.
Okay. Is that a motion?
Yes.
All right. Second?
Second.
All right. All those in favor of nominating Ryan as vice chair, say aye. Aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? All right. Ryan, you are my vice chair again.
And
A dynamic duo.
I also just want to remind everyone, we do have a vacancy that we do still have. So those applications are still open to be filled immediately.
All All right, so we need to do our part in getting the word out and getting another member on our team. All right, next item on the agenda, staff report.
All right, obviously, Nick Burgess is not here tonight. He is on vacation. So I'm going to provide the staff comment. You have in your packet what we provided to council. A few highlights. COVID-19, we got really close to back to normal, it feels like. Now we have some Delta variant concerns, of course, so we're continuing to stay in loop with that and in touch with local public health. We still, at this point, as a city, have a maxed until you're vaxxed policy for all of our facilities. We'll continue to, pivot if needed. We've always viewed this as more of a dial than a switch, so we'll continue to do that and follow local public health guidance for our community. Summer slate, that's been going really well. We just wrapped up our third month of summer slate events in July. Those drive-in movies, Inflatables Day, Concert in the Park, those were all big hits. We did have Know Before You Goes, our emails I believe each of you have gotten in your inbox, but we started that actually pre-pandemic for some of our big events, and we were able to use that during summer slate, just who, what, where, when, why, all the details right in your inbox, usually 2 to 3 days before some large community events. So we do that for library, recreation, communications, any city-led larger events. We have had Sujit and Derek coming out and covering the highlights of videography and photography of those events, preparing some highlight reels, some things that we can use to promote similar events in the future. And we just released yesterday our August event details. So those include a performance from the Eastern Iowa Circus. We have a playground crawl on the books. We have another concert in the park that's going to conclude in fireworks, kind of as a send-off to summer. And we have a month-long scavenger hunt, as well as a panel discussion that the library's hosting. So another full month. The end of August will pretty much wrap up our summer slate. We have had items on the schedule through September, but those are just going to kind of be marketed as separate things moving forward. Great Neighborhoods, that initiative is still going well. Many of you attended the first in-person quarterly meeting that we had as a bit of a social in the Penn Meadows Park Pavilion last month. We have had continued opportunities to work with the ambassadors. We had the Neighborhood Challenge for the Summer Reading Program, which announced the library today that the neighborhoods in the orange zone took home that win, and we'll have a complimentary visit from an ice cream truck in the next week or so. We have had lunches and breakfasts. There were 5 of those meetup events, 2 breakfasts and 2 lunches that were just as schedule allowed. Whatever ambassadors wanted to come, it was just an opportunity to get to know me and each other a little more. Those were great casual meetups that I would say about 20 or so, about half the ambassadors probably were able to make it to. So we'll probably do that again. We actually have some city facility tours scheduled for ambassadors this Thursday and in September as well. And just communication seems to be working really seamlessly. We're seeing each department work more closely with the ambassadors as time goes on, and as concerns or events in any particular neighborhood pops up, we're able to communicate that quickly and efficiently. We had an example is there was a large fish kill event based on lack of oxygen in the Broadmoor Place pond. And the Parks Department got the DNR out there, got the situation understood, and then was able to communicate that directly with the 2 ambassadors in that area. And they were able to filter back questions and kind of get everything answered across the neighborhood, to our knowledge, very efficiently. So that seemed like just a good example when it came to the communication side. We also have ambassadors planning some neighborhood engagement events coming up. Tomorrow night, one of the neighborhoods is having a block party. On Sunday, another neighborhood has reserved the outdoor pool for a neighborhood pool party. So we are seeing more engagement happening, which is great. The activity guide, actually, that's one of the things. I just wanted to bring you a copy. You've probably seen it online, but this is the activity guide Nick just put out in collaboration with the library and rec, combining these two. They used to put out separate guides, but the activity guide now combines both library and rec events. It is a little different. It's simpler. It's smaller. This is the first guide we've had since a year and a half ago, And it was restructured to be organized by activities rather than age, rather than by department. We'll see how this one goes, but we wanted to direct people just to the appropriate places to get all the full details. We kind of stripped out a lot of redundant information. So that's just a copy for you guys to have. There are printed copies at the rec center for this, the community center, but also online. The other items you have in front of you that I just want to make sure you get a copy of was our summer slate guide. This went into all of the mailboxes in North Liberty back in first week of May. This is basically a printed version of our summer slate website. And then also, this was a while ago now, this came out in January, February, but this was our neighborhood ambassador guide, which also served as our welcome guide that just had some general information for getting set up at the in North Liberty if you were newer to the area. It also included some language ambassador contact information. So I just want to make sure you guys got copies of those if you hadn't already.
And Jillian, where can people find these?
They're all online, linked at northlibertyowa.org, but they're also basically versions of, the activity guide has a clear link to the exact thing digitally, where you flip through the PDF pages. The summer slate and the ambassador guide are basically versions of the web page. So the guide is all in great neighborhoods and for the ambassadors, and then the summer slate has that URL as well.
Is there any available at the rec center for people to pick up?
There are printed copies of all of these three available at the rec center. The activity guide, based on mailing dates for the the Johnson County newspaper that we've put the other two in, wasn't hitting right for the registration dates for this. So we have, I think, 500 physical copies of this at the community center at the library and rec front desks. Otherwise, it's digital. I can't remember if there's talk about putting it in any mailer at this point or not, when the dates didn't hit. But let's see. I don't think there's anything else on our staff highlights for the past month or two, but I'm open to taking any questions you might have.
I'm not sure if this is a new item. So with the city council meetings, they're sent to, I forgot, it's Channel 4? Is it Channel 4 with Iowa City?
Mm-hmm.
And I noticed that there's no closed captioning because it's on the website and there's any closed captioning. Is there a possibility to add closed captioning in the future, or at least have a transcript of the meetings?
A closed captioning on the copy
video.
of the video that
Yeah.
we're giving to Channel
Yeah.
4.
Or the one that
They-
leaves is on the website.
The one on the website, you're right, we don't have it. Right now, we only have the closed captioning on what Facebook's picking up,
Okay.
correct? I don't remember if we've looked into that or not. I don't know if there's built-in tools on what we're uploading it through the website on. I think it's just going on to Vimeo. I'll have to look into it. I don't have
Okay.
an answer for you.
Not just the city council meetings, any
Right.
video meetings, closed captioning should be on, or a transcript should be provided.
I will ask what Nick has looked into on that in the past and circle back with you.
Thank you. Any other comments, questions regarding the staff report? All right, then moving on to old business. Any old business to discuss? All righty, then moving on, new business. Any new business? How's,
I don't know if this is the place to ask this question. In our neighborhood, there's a three-way stop, and there's no stop sign. So it's kind of like you yield to whoever wants to yield to you.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if that's ever been, I'm sure it's been addressed, but it just came up recently. Be nice if there was a stop sign there.
Yeah, residents can make requests for that to the streets department. They will look at whether they see that as something that needs to be done in that area or not. But the best way to make a request for that would be to go to our contact page and then click traffic concern. So that will, a copy of that will come to us, but also to the street superintendent. And then they certainly will reply to anyone that they get that kind of stuff from that says, whether it's a street light question or a stop sign question, whether that's been looked into for that area or whether it's on the table to be studied as a need.
Okay.
Yeah.
I do have another traffic-related but continuing education potentially. I know when the roundabouts started popping up, there was a lot of initial education with the videos and some of the things that we were doing. I didn't know if there was going to be any continued communication on that, or especially maybe a way to, like the road construction or the road therapy signs that are up. I've noticed that people maybe with out-of-county plates tend to struggle at some of our roundabouts. So I didn't know if there were any clever signs that we could look into that would also maybe help educate people a little bit that aren't used to driving on
People
the
that aren't going to
roundabouts.
capture the stuff and see our stuff because they're not following us because they don't live here, but they're approaching it at the time and need help on-site signage. Certainly write it down to look into.
So I did an audit of our website for ADA accessibility, and there were a couple of errors and concerns in regards to just accessibility-wise. Is it possible to have communications look at that, even if it's just like the general page, and I can send the information regarding the concerns? Because I just want to make sure that everything that we post is accessible to everyone and not just limited to those who are able-bodied. So just
Yeah, absolutely. Please, thank you for taking the time to go through it and send us the list, and we'll work through it and make every change that our current website backend allows us to make, and make note of what we need to maybe do with the next update.
Awesome.
Things to look into.
Oh, I will, you guys bringing up concerns. The North Liberty website does have like the contact us, and if you have any concerns, definitely post those on there. We don't know unless you actually tell us. So thank you for bringing up those concerns regarding traffic or anything regarding just the North Liberty, because I've visited the website countless times and it was like, if I had a concern, where would I post that? So the website is absolutely amazing, and just making it accessible and just easy to read and submit concerns.
Yeah, and the communications office gets a copy of every single one that comes in. If you've picked the correct category, it's going to also go to that department, and we don't have to forward it on. But we get plenty that just don't know which category to choose, or maybe go, I don't know which one I chose, but we'll still make sure it gets to the right person.
All right. Anything else regarding new business? All right. Then adjournment.
Motion to adjourn?
Can I get a second?
Second.
All right. All those in favor of closing this meeting, say aye.
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 Aye. All those opposed? Meeting adjourned.